Hi. So recently on our Facebook group, we've got a model-centric group on Facebook. Something that kind of, it's all about model railroads, but it's kind of a focus on the models. So me and a couple of other Canucks have this group called the Modelers Guild. Many of you are on that group. We've got almost 4,000, about 3,800 people on the group, and constantly get great modelers from all over the world. And we really focus on getting people from all over the world to get involved with modeling and show what they're interested in. And often what happens is you find that these modelers who are coming from Brazil and Spain and Germany, Italy, the Netherlands and all that jazz, they're coming with the American or North American prototype in their box of interests. And recently we had a Brazilian modeler named Evandro Lima come with a whole slew of Brazilian modelers, and Evandro's modeling is so good, the coloring so spot on, the photography, wow, I just ain't never seen modeling like this before. So I just had to contact Evandro and get him on and have an interview with him and talk about his modeling. Hope you enjoy this segment for Model Railroads and Structures Show. Today's video is brought to you by Helicon Focus. Helicon Focus is the photo stacker that makes the most clear photographs that you could ever make. To get 20% off a lifetime license of Helicon Focus, go to modelersguild.com/HF. And we thank Helicon Focus for their support of our show. And by AndModel. AndModel has been making model railroad electronics since 2007, and with their affiliation with Pico and their Smart Switch, you can find them in Europe and in North America. Smart Switch switches your switches and animates your models.
Hi, Ron.
Hello, how are you doing?
Did you see me?
No, I can't just yet, but can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
How about your camera?
I can't see your camera, but you can see mine. That doesn't matter if it doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me make sure the recorder's going here. Yeah. Can you say something?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Just on the...
Do you receive my pictures?
Yes, over Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook, yeah. Mm-hmm. This is the start of my layout. My wife helped me to do this layout. My English is not so good, but I studied English a long time ago. But if you speak slowly, I will understand you, no problem.
Oh, we intend to be international shows, so if your English, gets to the point where we have to put the English words below, which I don't imagine, you sound like you've got great English, but that's what we want to do so that we're open to more people around the world and stuff. And we'd actually like to start translating, maybe even translate this video for your Brazilian friends who don't speak English.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff, is when we can connect. Use this internet thing to actually connect across borders.
Yes. I'm very impressed because some people likes of my layout. I don't know why, but I use every neutral colors to do. I see every layout around the world, but some people likes brilliant colors.
Yes.
I watch the nature to do. It's very, very important. Yeah. In Brazil, we have many clubs, many society of model railroads. But I prefer take my layout and then sometimes go to these clubs.
Okay.
Yeah, I spent some 3 years, 2 or 3 years to do my layout. I like details. Details is very, very important. The colors and the rocks. And the product is very important. I use sometimes woodland scenics from the United States, knock from Germany, I travel for every part of the world and then visit some layouts. I went to the last Model Railroad convention in the United States, in Atlanta and Portland.
Oh.
And I did some layouts to compare the finished accompaniment. I don't know how can I say in English, but and I see every kinds of fine accompaniments, you know.
Yeah.
And then I use this for learn to construction my layout. I prefer, for example, my extra tools. I like wood, laser cut, from bar mills, from camp mills. It's difficult to build, but I like it.
Yeah. Actually, I passed your photo on to the owner of Bar Mills, and he was highly encouraged by your photo.
Yeah. And sometimes I use unusual objects to construct my structures. For example, deodorants, tubes. I like supermarket. So many possibilities.
Oh yes.
Of objects. And then I will send to you some parts of my steel mill. I will build a steel mill, a large one, and I put below my layout. My layout is 2 decks.
Okay.
You see the first deck, the up deck, and then the down deck is all industries.
Oh, okay.
For example, this chemical industry is for Belau. It's some kind of background. It's not inter, just the front of industry, background.
Okay.
Building is a scratch building, some more unusual objects. For example, cheese cream. I like that pot of cheese cream to construct the industrial cooler. And then my steel mill, I use some unusual objects. I will send for you to see and post and sharing of your group.
Well, we'll also patch in the photos that you're talking about onto the video, so that people can realize, the steel mill, what we're talking about in the steel mill when you're talking about it. You said that you don't understand what people like about your pictures or something like that, and I think what I first felt when I seen your picture was the unusual perspective of the camera. In the picture with the bar mills, I don't know all the name of the kits right now, but it's the green building, and you're down low, you're looking up at the building.
Yes. A little road to go to this structure. This is a bar mills too. It's a green one.
Yeah.
And then I take an upgrade and I make a junk yard inside, you know.
Yeah.
A junk yard with some resins and the rest of kits. The rest of kits to produce junk yards. And the another kits of bar mills, you see the plantation. Some people make a plantation, like an upgrade too. I spent a long time to do this because it's many little details I added in the kit.
Yeah, never rush the details. Yes.
Yes. For example, the roof. I don't use the original roof. I produce my roof with styrene parts, styrene plates to do these parts. And some pipes inside have furnitures inside. There's a light inside. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to do, but I like it. It's most difficult. I like it.
Well, it's interesting because there's the very standard Woodland Scenics man with the truck, and the scene you have put together really doesn't I don't have to ask myself what they're doing. It's all very apparent in the scene, and you've done that so well. Like it's
and the lumber. You see
the grass coming up on it.
Yes. I like, for example, static grass. static grass is very important in the layout.
Yeah.
I start with a neutral color, like a earth color, in the surface, and then I add very slowly some kinds of fine turf, medium turf, and then I finish with some little stones, and then to finish static grass with many kinds of static grass. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I use brown, sometimes I use dark green, sometimes light green. I mixed every static grass. It's very important.
Yeah, that's a good point. When you look at your photos, you see a range of colors, and a lot of layouts you can see and pick out what kinds of paints these people have, because that's all they have on their layout are these certain colors. But your colors are so mixed, intermingled.
Yes.
It's real. And to further talk about this wood, I'll show the picture of it. But the wood looks like it's been there for years. Like, it tells a story, you know? This was put down and forgotten 10 years ago, you know? And
I like to mix the color. For example, sometimes the areas is very dry. For example, near the river.
Yeah.
And then the colors of the rock is different. Mm-hmm. Like gray, I use gray. Sometimes I use green in the bottom mm-hmm. to simulate vegetation mm-hmm. or humid areas. For when you stay near from river or lakes, for example, mm-hmm. I prefer green, mm-hmm. and gray. And sometimes, for example, in the near from my city, I use vibrant colors. Depends, but generally I use woodland scenic colors. I like this. And in Brazil we have a kind of colors. The name is Nature colors from Acrylex. Acrylex is a trademark they sell in Brazil.
Oh, really?
In art departments. It's very nice to use. And as you see, I use the backgrounds.
Oh,
These backgrounds, yes, I bought in England. The name is Lulu Trends. Lulu Trends. You can find in eBay store for it. It's very expensive, but I prefer bought in local. When I visit England, I bought every kind of backgrounds. It's more important, not bright, but flat is important. Yes. When you take a picture, the light of flash. Interfere the background. I prefer flat. Flat is the best.
Yeah.
Flat is the best. And the first step to do a layout, I think, to the background is important. Mm-hmm. And then you combine the colors of rock with these backgrounds.
Oh, pick colors from the background and put it in the...
Yes, take an impression of 3D, you know? Mm-hmm. And you see for far away. It
brings it into the scene.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
It's
a fantastic idea. So, it's almost a gratuitous question. However, I think people would be interested how, internationally people get into the hobby. How did you get into the hobby, Evandro?
How? Excuse me?
How did you get interested in model railroading?
Yes. I like trains since I was 15 years. 15 years, yes. My first train, my father bought to me as a gift in the Christmas, yeah? And then I think to myself, why not build a little layout? My first layout I built when I was 15 years, but my first train is an N scale, not HO, but N scale, the little one. Yeah. But in Brazil is very expensive. In 70 years, it's difficult to find. And then my father bought to me in a travel in the United States and bought some N scale. And then I have these pictures in the slide of my first layout. But and then my interest is for another hobby, like a bonsai, the miniature trees. And then I forgot trains for 35 years. And then in a travel in Germany with my wife, I enter in a toy store. In Berlin, I have a lot of toy stores. And I like miniature cars too.
Okay.
And then inside that miniature cars, I saw the trains again. And then the passions come back. yeah.
Pulled you in.
Trains again.
Yeah.
Then I bought some trains, and I stayed in Brazil. I bought more trains, and then I think to myself, and I asked for my wife, why not build another layout? My wife likes the idea because she's a dentist and she likes miniature too. Yes, no problem. I will help you. Oh, sure, okay. And then we have a room, a special room in our apartment. And I think, well, we will start the construction in this room. It's a small room. It's 5 meters for 4 meters. I don't know.
Okay.
It's very small. Well, I think the best to do in double deck to
give you some floor space.
The space is not so good. It's very small, and the AGO scale you need more space than N scale.
Yeah.
Well, and then we start the construction. First the stairs, and then another one. Mm-hmm. But the bellow, I construction yet is not ready yet. But I will send more pictures to do the construction step by step. All the industries and it's no have interconnection because we don't have a space for a helix, for example.
Yeah.
It's the separately layout. This layout that you see is the 40 and 50 years in the United States. It's a specific kind of era in the United States.
Okay.
The machine, my locomotives is GP9, for example, EM7, some kind of steam locos like a big boy, like 262, and Mikado locos. But I like, for example, AGO N3. It's a specific kind of, yes, I have some machines from Blackstone.
Oh, those are nice.
Yes. 3 years ago, I did a travel in the United States, and then I go to Durango Silverton. It's very, very nice. Mm-hmm. And I take a lot of pictures of nature in this area of Colorado. It's a wonderful.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and then I take this for idea. I use these pictures like a reference to construction, some parts of my layout. But my dream is AGO N3 layout. Perhaps one day, I don't know.
So what scale is your layout now that you show pictures of?
AGO.
Oh, okay.
187 scale.
Yes.
I like AGO. It's a typical scale to model railroad.
Yeah.
N is very N scale is very small.
Oh,
and my eyes not so good. All scale is very, very big. G scale it's impossible.
Yes.
And AGO is the better to me. I don't know what is your opinion, but AGO it's the best one.
I build in all scales except for I avoid N and Z at all costs.
Oh, Z scale. Oh my God.
It actually is like, well, as you know from an N scale modeler, going from HO to N scale is no real difference except for that in HO the windows would be glued on top, where N scale the windows would be etched in. So you wouldn't have to play with the windows. It's not that hard. It's just that the parts start to break. That frustrates me to no end. So
yes. But the problem is the eye. I'm a 53. I'm not young.
Yes.
The eyes is not so good.
Yes.
I use glasses.
I hear
the
you.
N scale is not so good. It's not so good. But I like it. I like to. And Z scale for me it's impossible to do a layout. You need I don't know, but it's impossible. I never built a Z scale It's very interesting, but I think to my room with a Z scale. Oh my God! I make I make a country.
The whole country, yeah.
Yeah, whole country, yes. In Z scale.
What are you talking about? Railroad, all the railroads.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
In Brazil, you cannot find Z scale. I just know two guys that have a Z scale, but they have young. And any scale, they have a lot of people. They like any scale, but HO is the large people likes HO scale. It's the best.
So in Brazil, what is the state of the hobby? Is model railroading popular comparably, or?
No, it's not popular because it's very expensive. It's a very expensive hobby, no? I know 200 people that like HO scale in São Paulo, Brazil, and some people doesn't appear. They don't like sharing pictures, and then they have it inside their houses.
Yes.
I remember one day I stay in a countryside near from São Paulo, and I think in this place it doesn't people like a model railroad. And then I found two guys. They have a layout. I thought, oh my God, where are these guys? Then you find it.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. There is in Brazil, in São Paulo, there's 4 or 5 clubs. Societies, clubs, the people join and then construct some layouts. No? But the acabament, it's not fine acabament. I think they need help to do this. They don't know, for example, woodland products, knock products, bush products. The trademark is very, very good. In my layout, I use it for every time woodland sands. And sands for me is the best one. It's the best one. Like a knock. Knock is the similar in Germany. Every product in woodland sands you can find in German, but the name is knock. N-O-C-H. It's another trademark, you know. Knock. It's different. The same rock molds, the same fine turf, the same paint you can find in German too. It's another name.
So are you part of a club?
A party?
Are you part of a club or society?
No. Unfortunately, not. It's just my layout, but many friends comes to my home to play with me. Yeah,
right, play with trains.
Yeah, my layout is a small club.
Yeah. One more, you're the boss. Yes.
7 or 10 people sometimes call me. Hey, Evandro, you stay here now? Okay. I'm coming.
Right on.
My wife doesn't like the idea because she makes a coffee, she makes a cake, but finally she likes too because some friends bring with them a wife, and then wife is in a room. And we in another room.
Knitting away, yes.
I like your analogy, yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, the women, they get their compliments when the men come through, and the men think that they're complimenting you, when in actual fact, sometimes it's the ladies' work that is being complimented. So, you know, just hopefully they're in the room when that compliment comes through.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Keep things on the up and up. Yes. So, what kind of camera do you use for your photography?
Yes, for closer, I use a Cybershot Sony, and sometimes I film it in a GoPro. But when I can make a specific kind of picture with more resolution, I use a Canon 5D Mark III. It's a professional camera. I use this camera in my job.
Oh, I see.
Canon 5D Mark III is the best one. Of course, it's a specific lenses.
Yes.
Micro lenses.
Yeah.
And it's a nice aperture. to capture some details. But I prefer Cybershot. Cybershot is a small camera, and then you fix in the middle of layout, and then down to the destruction often. Okay,
Yeah.
It's very very delicate layout.
Yeah, well, actually, the aperture is really set up nicely on a small point-and-shoot camera for modeling.
Yes, I use the manual system,
Okay.
and then I sometimes I change the lenses for wide angle, you know, because the space is very small. You can use a small wide angle is the best for results.
Yes, so I've heard from my friend Bob Boudreau. So yeah, I kind of noticed how sometimes I could see the GoPro kind of has a rounded surface to its photos, a slight fish look to it.
As you can change,
Yeah, that's like, so I've kind of noticed that the photos do range, and that's interesting that you use all types of cameras for this.
I intended to film in the layout for the start and the finish with a GoPro, and fix the GoPro in the locomotive.
Oh,
and then the filming all layout, and then I will send you in high resolution with a GoPro.
Okay.
I never take this kind of filming, but I intend to do. I will do.
Well, the photos are fantastic. Like, I've never actually taken a modeler's photo and shared it with a manufacturer like I did with yours. And his comment was very like you could tell he really liked it, but he was like, who is this from? You know, because this is what they're doing in Brazil.
Okay. Did you like the night shots? You see the night shots?
Yes.
Yes. My layout is all. I put every lights in my layout, in the city, inside the houses, outside the houses, and all the lights is separately controlled. For example, just the houses, just the posts, just the city, just the industries. It's all separately.
Separate. Oh.
Separately. Yeah.
So you can turn them up and turn them down?
Yeah, I have a little control and then I control everything. The turnouts, for example, I use tortoises and the tortoises to command the turnouts. And I have a specific control model by Germany. The name is ASU. ASU.
Yes.
It's very, very expensive, but you control everything else. For example, turnouts, the lights, the velocity of locomotives, the time. It's fantastic, but it's very, very expensive. It's about 100 euros. I don't know.
Oh my goodness!
600 euros. Yes, I pay in German. Yeah, it's very difficult to learn. You need to spend a lot of time because the book is very, very large.
Yeah.
And it's all in Germany and English. Sometimes I make a traduction for English. German is impossible, of course.
The world's against you.
Yeah, and believe me, in the final of book is in Chinese. Oh my God, what is in Chinese? German is impossible. I think in Chinese.
Oh my goodness! My goodness.
Yeah, it's very, very funny. But when you use the usual products to do the youth structure, it's very funny and cheap because you use all your creativity to do this structure. I sent for you some pictures of my construction in unusual products. The result is fantastic. It's very, very fun. It's very, very interesting to do.
What kind of paints do you use?
Paint, okay. I use the little brushes and the large brushes, but the paint is from Woodland Scenics. And then I told you I use the natural colors by Acrylex. They sell in Brazil.
Oh, Acrylex. Oh, yeah.
I think you don't find in the United States.
No, probably
Which
not.
I can send for you some natural colors. It's more cheap than woodland scenics, and the colors is fantastic, like gray, browns, for earth, for stones.
They're
It's
very earthy, very, very earthy, flat, and like their tones are very nice.
the flat is important. It's very important.
So
You
important.
never use brilliant. Brilliant is very fake. The flat is fantastic for use.
Well,
But
well, and actually, when you use flat colors, and then you bring in a shiny color and put it in somewhere like a puddle or something like that, it really pops. You
Yes.
know, it's a feature. Yeah.
yes. I started my painting in the rocks, for example, in the mold rocks. When I fixed the layout, I used the light colors first, and then step by step, layers by layers, I used dark colors. I started the light colors with much water to mix, and then finally I used dark colors to produce special effects. When I finish, I use dry brush. Dry brush is very important. Ochre colors and the white colors, and just put a little bit in the brushes and the surface of rocks, and then produce a special effects.
Yeah, dry brushing the sunshine on top of a rock. Or the iron oxide being rusted down the side of the rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yes.
And I start the painting, and then I put some vegetation growing in the rocks to produce special effects. Then finally, I put the trees. All the trees of my layout I produce by myself. I use the stones, and then I scaring the surface of the stones to produce bark. And then bark, I make the, how can I say, branches. The branches, I use wire. And then put in the wire some products of woodland saints, like, which the name, I don't remember the name of these products of woodland saints. I don't know. It's a specific product.
Like a leaf.
Yes, exactly. Okay. And I use some colors, different colors of green. Yeah. Not every kind of green, but light green, dark green. For example, if you use autumn scene, you can use a yellow, a dark brown, a red one. But it's not my case. It's not in my layout. I use just green, but I like, for example, autumn sand or winter sand. It's another kind of vegetation. You don't use vegetation in winter sand because it's the fall.
Yes.
It's the fall,
Yes. Well, looking at your photos, really, they shocked me, actually. Not to say that the modeling on the Modelers Guild is so bad or mediocre, but your photographs were so well taken that it drew me into the scene, like drew me right into it. Like to look at the perspective of the buildings. Usually people are putting a picture of a square building on, and your photo comes down low and goes up high, where a building kind of is a trapezoid.
It's a perspective.
Yes, and
yes. I choose every angles. The angles is important because I'm a photographer too.
Oh yes.
Well,
that's obvious.
Yes.
You're a good photographer.
Yes, I like to travel for every parts of the world. And 1 year ago, I go to Utah to photograph the national parks in Utah.
Yes.
Oh, the United States is amazing. Bryce Canyon, Zion National Park, and the Arcus National Park in Utah. I like photograph this kind of places. And then to take ideas for my future layouts. I help some friends to build some layouts. and then I use this kind of picture to take ideas to build. But for my layout, I take everything in my mind. Yes, so, sometimes I use some picture of a reference, but in 80% of my layout, it's all in my mind.
Really?
I create everything, and then step by step I will change. No, it's not good. It's the better, and then I will change for everything, and then you spend a lot of time because you change for every time. For example, to do 10 centimeters of my layout, I spend 3 or 4 hours to do just 10 centimeters because I like some details. Every rock, every vegetation, I choose with carefully to do. It's important. And this is difference. This is the difference.
It is the difference. Nothing looks out of place then.
Yeah. Definitely, Molly Road is not a child place. It's just for adults. for many reasons. For example, it's very expensive. You need manipulate with carefully. Childs don't have it carefully to do this, and don't have money to spend.
But those first layouts that we make as children, they are throwaways in some senses, but in other senses, they are the building blocks of learning skills.
You
know, maybe you're a photographer, but maybe you're not a graphic artist, or maybe you're an electrician, you know, and then you've got to learn art.
Yes.
So the challenges are great,
Yeah. I see in your studio some boxes, and it's a kit. Is it a kit?
Yes, I've got kits all over the place here. Actually, in the back here, I've got these 2 models that I'm gonna start building very shortly.
Yes. From wood, I think.
Artitech from Holland.
Oh, nice boat. Yeah,
yes.
Nice. Yeah.
And
the weather in the boat is very important.
Oh
wow.
my goodness! Oh my goodness!
My God. Have a track in the platform, is it?
Yeah, this is a ferry for train cars.
Wow.
Yes.
All made by wood? Is it by wood or plastic?
Resin, yeah, plastic resin.
Resin and plastic, yes. It's very difficult to do. I like this kind of kits.
I like them too because you have to paint every bit of color on it. So you're not defined by a color of a plastic. You start with a nice beigey start, and it's all on to you to make all the details on it. So it kind of pushes me to, I
recommend you for the weathering, the structure of this boat, a MIG pigments from Spain. MIG, the MIG. It's very good. It's very good. I have a large of colors of MIG and the pigments, but unfortunately, it's very dirty word.
It's very difficult to learn too, and I was lucky to get the DVDs. From the gentleman to learn how to use them, and he uses tanks, but what's the difference, right?
Yeah. I like, for example, weathering my wagons, my cars.
Yeah.
I weather everything else.
Your cars are weathered very nicely, very nicely.
You don't see my collection. I have for 200 cars. 200
I believe it.
Canadian National, Union Pacific, Western Pacific, and I have some a large European materials for Deutsche Bahn, for Sweden, for Spain, and then I aged everything. And sometimes I take pictures in the line of train to observe and to watch what kind of agent nature produces in this car, because they stay in the time for take a rain, take a dust, take a winter, and then I never see any car new. I just see every aged. And I remember in Atlanta when I visited CXX Park, and I take a lot of picture of box cars and serial cars and the cylinder cars. Every is aged and weathered, very, very weathered, and rust in the roof.
And they're aged in a very unique way because of the climate in Georgia or Atlanta. You know, that whereas when you visited Colorado, it would be very arid and dry, and very rusty maybe. Whereas in Atlanta, it'd be humid and hot, and it would be a different kind of rust.
Yeah, different kind of rust, exactly.
Not so dusty, but maybe dark and grimy. Yes,
it's important to use some kinds of different kinds of pigments from milk, and then sometimes I use the oil effects in the truck of vegans. There's a specific product from milk. They produce oil grease. I don't know the specific. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Dark wash. Yeah, it's very, very nice. Very, very nice.
It's exceptional.
Exceptional, exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, in Brazil, it's very difficult to find. Some kind you find, sometimes not. And when you find, it's very, very expensive.
Yeah.
I prefer both on eBay. eBay is more cheap than both inside Brazil. You never stay in Brazil?
Me? No. I'd love to visit. I'd love to do the tour all the way down to the tip of Argentina.
Argentina. Yes. It's our neighbor. When we stay in Brazil, contact me, and then you can visit my layout personally.
Oh, that would be such a
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And then I will leave you for visit some clubs in Brazil to take a picture.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I know every clubs in Brazil. It's very, very nice, and there's a specific club in São Paulo that's very, very big. And Brazilian Society of Modern Railroad is very, very big. If you wish, I can send for you some pictures. I helped to build this layout, but unfortunately, there's a few people that have interest in decoration and unfortunately, it's just me to do this. It's a very, very hard work, and then I dismissed. I prefer do myself and my layout. And
the quality control is easier to handle on your own stuff. Yeah. Now, off topic. The weather down in Brazil right now, is it wintertime? Coming on wintertime now, or?
No, in Brazil now it's winter time, but snow is no in Brazil. Never snow in Brazil, but now it's winter time. It's very cold now. It's about 5 degrees Celsius. 5 degrees.
Oh, that is fairly cold.
Yes, and the rain too. Okay. Now in the States it's summer, but in Brazil it's winter. Now in United States it's summer, I think.
Okay. Same as here, but opposite seasons. Yeah.
Yes, different seasons. Okay.
So, that's so interesting. Like, when I seen your photos, you struck a chord in me. Actually, I've been on a building tear. I've been building like a madman on like 4 different projects now because it just takes one picture to inspire me, and you put up like 20 pictures, and they're so detailed that, like, as a builder, when I look for a photo, I kind of look to see where it's not finished, to stop my eye, and there is no way to stop your eye in some of your photos. And the photos you gave this morning, I was just like, oh, well, he is human. Because these photos are in build process, it's not this real life and miniature collection of photos. Yeah, so I gotta
Right.
give you
Yes.
high praise for that. High praise.
Just a question, Ron. You don't see me? You don't see me? Is a problem with your camera?
No, maybe it's on your side. I don't know. Do you see you?
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't know how to use Skype, and actually, I had to install it to do this
What a
interview.
pity! What a pity! Because I show for you some vegans of me for me and weathering vegans for you.
Well,
But I will send the pictures. No problem. I will send the pictures.
Well, how about we do this? How about we say, let's do it again, and next time we'll do it over Google Hangouts. And Hangouts, I'll teach you how to use it and stuff like that, but it's got a lot more options.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Skype is fun, but you can't share your screen, you can't share photos, and in Google Hangouts you can do all that stuff, plus share your video.
I don't have Google, this kind of Google. No, I don't have this.
It's all free, but, you know.
In fact, I don't understand. I don't know how can I use. That's the truth.
Well, we'll teach each other. I'll share how to do it offline, and we can do it again.
Okay.
You know, because I really, really want to push an international connection between people. You know, we share the same hobby.
Yeah, yes, it's very important. I saw in your group layout from Sweden.
Yeah.
It's a nice picture in perspective of Santa Fe locomotive. It seems like to me a MD7. I don't know, but the shot is very, very fantastic.
Yeah.
The angle is very, very nice.
Yeah. So we got people from all over the place, and it's growing every day. Sometimes we get people from Indonesia sharing railfan photos.
Indonesia.
Yeah, Indonesia.
Oh wow.
They're really big into photographing trains there, and I think it's fascinating. I think it's one of the most beautiful things of the internet.
Yes. Can you believe it? I have some Australian locomotives in my collection. Yes, Australian.
Well,
And,
when you look at an Australian layout, it's got these railroads. They've got equipment from every part of the world, it seems.
Yeah. When I put the locomotives in my layout, perhaps I add some kangaroos and koalas.
Yeah.
Compound the scene.
Yeah.
I bought these locomotives when I stay in Australia. My honeymoon is in Australia with my wife. And the wagons is from Power Line is the trademark. It's fantastic. It's all in details and the metal details like photo etch details.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very nice. You can open the doors. You can move some parts, but unfortunately, it's very, very expensive.
Well, I think it's a good time to end this. You know, so we could do it again later. To expand on our story of Evandro and Brazil. But I'd also like to encourage you to participate in somebody else's podcast. You know, I'm not all about just talking about myself or my show or my group. There's another group out there where you can share your modeling with... It's an international crowd, and I think that the more we try to get people involved all around, the better it is. So these guys are called the gentleman's name is Tom Barbalet, and his website is called modelrailradio.com. And it is like a radio show. There's no video on it.
Very interesting, yeah.
And
can you send it to me?
I will definitely do so. And
has a link.
Yes, I will. In Facebook, I'll send it as a link. And what they do is they talk to modelers, no matter where you're from, and he always wants you to call back and share your updates. You know, what you're doing, what you're thinking.
Yes. Now I see. I receive now. ModulRadio.com.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. Video radio twice. Radio. Is it?
No.
Model radio.
No, model rail, like as in railroad.
But it's different. I see ModulRadio.com.
Oh, I messed it up. I'm visually impaired, and when I'm on the Skype, I try to type like this, and it's past my vision range. You just uncovered my my limitation. There it is.
Model Radio. Yes, now it's okay. Okay, now I understand. Okay.
Now I guarantee you, Tom will treat you like you know, like you're the center of the world, and the audience is very big, and it's different from what I do because I do video, and they do audio only, and you know, I just want to connect you with the hobby as a whole here, if that's
yes, I will try. It's very interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, my dream is share some pictures of my layout in Model Railroad magazine, but it's just a dream. It's impossible. I don't know.
I don't think it's impossible, sir. I'd love to be able to get you in touch with the people who can get that to happen.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes. And actually, a former, well, actually, not me get you in touch. Tom Barbalet has a former editor of Model Railroader participate on the show on a regular basis.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps I will contact them.
Definitely.
To take some pictures. Perhaps they like it. I don't know.
Yeah, they will like it. I guarantee it. And don't forget me once you get a hold of them. Don't forget us.
Oh, no problem. Perhaps I need your help to make this kind of contact. I don't know. My English is not very good to make contact of these guys. But I remember when I stayed in the United States, some people see my picture of my layout, and they have impressionated. They have they don't understand. They don't believe in my layout. Oh, it's very good. What part of the United States do you stay? No, I'm not in the United States. I'm still in Brazil. It's another country. But the hobby is the same in every part of the world. The hobby is the same.
I'm from Canada myself, so...
Are you from Canada?
Yes. Yes.
Which part of Canada?
Ontario, Canada.
Ontario, yes. I know Toronto and Vancouver. Vancouver is the best. And I remember the Lake Louise. Oh my God, it's wonderful to take picture of Lake Louise.
Oh, up in the mountains there, it's beautiful. The turquoise waters. Yes.
It's an amazing place. It's outstanding. I spent one day just to take picture of Lake Louise. Oh my God, what is this?
Yes.
If God spent 7 days to make a world, in just in Lake Louise, he spent 6 days.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Well, I live about 3 hours from Toronto.
3 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours. The Ontario from Toronto is 3 hours, is it?
Well, no, Ontario is the province or state.
Yes, the province, yes.
Yes, and I live, my city is about 3 hours away from Toronto, in Ontario as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't live in the United States. You're from Canada, is it?
Yeah. Only Canada, yeah.
I think you live in the United States.
No, I work in the United States from time to time, building models and railroads, but I really appreciate where I live when I come back home.
Yes, but it's very, very cold in Canada, I think. It's very, very cold.
Yeah, there's about 2 or 3 months that it's very frozen, but you know, the rest of the year is exactly the same as you know.
Yeah. Did you know George Trains is a famous store near from Toronto?
Yeah.
George Trains.
Yeah.
I stayed in George Trains a long time ago, and then pass a Canadian national near from the store. I don't know if I bought the trains or if I picture the trains or take picture of the trains.
Yeah.
It's a hard choice.
Yeah.
And my wife told it to me, are you crazy? You stay inside the house, inside the store, and at the same time outside the store to picture the... Can you build the trains or can you picture the trains? It's a terrible choice.
When we're traveling, all of our little secret interests are uncovered.
Yeah.
You can't hide no more.
Exactly, yeah.
Like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my God, look at this.
Yes.
I stay in Caboose Hobbies in Denver. It's a large store in the Moderate Road, Caboose Hobbies. When I stay in Caboose Hobbies, I saw every kind of books.
Everything.
And DVDs. It's fantastic. It's just, it's impossible to know Caboose Hobbies in just one day.
Oh.
You need 1 week to know every Caboose Hobbies. And the part of the store, they sell trees, they sell rock molds, they sell backgrounds. I'm very interested in these parts. So just 3 hours in these parts to choose some products to bring to Brazil. Yes, it's a fantastic store, Caboose Hobbies.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just in Denver.
Yeah, I'd like to visit there one day. I've been to George's Trains a number of times, and I agree with you. It's a candy store in there. And they always seem to build these hobby shops in Ontario by a train track.
Ah, yes. When I return in Canada, I need a tip for you. The best stores in Canada. I will talk to you when I go to Canada. Perhaps in the next year. I don't know. My wife has some parents in Chatham, near Toronto. Chatham. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Her uncle lives in Chatham.
Oh, okay.
It's about 5 or 4 hours from Toronto. I don't know.
About 5. Yep.
Yeah, it's near from Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Lake Erie.
I live in between Chatham and Toronto.
Really? Yeah.
Yes. So
perhaps we can. I find you when I stay in Chatham. I will maintain contact.
Definitely, we'll get in touch.
Okay.
So it's nice to meet you, Evandro.
Yes, nice to meet you too.
And we should do this again.
Okay. I will send more pictures. If you have some interest in share these pictures of construction of my layout, it's a pleasure. No problem.
Awesome.
Okay.
But look forward to all of it.
The people have some curiosity to know how can I do the construction. And then I found these hair pictures to send you.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. In Brazil, the people likes the methods of the construction, and they think, how can he make two constructions? How can I start the construction? It's very, very interesting.
Actually, in your photos, I seen what looked like paper mache and then also plaster. What do you prefer?
No. I start with fore. Fore is the best. For the first step is fore. You know fore, white fore?
Foam?
Foam.
Yes, okay, yeah.
First. And then I use the specific kind of paper, the brown paper to
like
involve boxes.
Yeah.
And then I crush the paper first. I crush the paper, and then I put in the water. Yes. I put the water, and then I fix them from phone, and then I apply white glue.
Yeah.
White glue to fix better.
Uh-huh.
I wait for 1 or 2 days, and then I put the rocks mold, and to joint the rock molds, I use plaster from wood and Sanix, and with water. I don't know the name of that, but
Sculptor mode.
sculpt mode. Yes, sculpt mode to joint the rocks, and then I waiting for more 2 days to fix them, to fix the heart, and then I start the painting. It's light colors to dark colors. Is it?
Yeah. That's interesting. So your scenery is very light, then.
Yes. It's a hard job, but the result is very, very fine.
It's not the 600-pound mountain, though.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. I'm gonna patch that into the interview in between.
Okay, perhaps in the future I need your help to contact the Model Railroad magazine, and with some luck, perhaps one picture of my layout is inside the Model Railroad. Oh my God, I can't believe it if it's possible.
Oh my goodness, they'll put you on the cover.
Well, no cover, no, just the track slide. It's a good.
Yeah. Start off small, eh?
Yeah, it's a good.
Okay, no problem. It'll be one of my crowning achievements to introduce you.
Okay. Oh well. Okay. I will share more pictures in your group. No
Okay.
problem. I don't forget you, my friend.
Right on.
Okay,
Thank you. Nice to meet you, and have a good day.
Bye bye. Have a good day.
Bye bye. So I'd like to thank Evandro for coming on the show today. It was a great talk. He's such a talented modeler, and it's so fascinating to find out how international modelers, pick a part of the world that's somewhere where they don't live and use it as an adventure to travel, research, and recreate these things in your own little basement or modeling room, whatever it may be. So thanks, Evandro, for coming on, and hopefully maybe Model Railroader will finally get a hold of this guy after seeing these photographs. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the show. Talk to you later.